Greetings! Welcome to day 13 of the 30 days of Halloween. I'm so proud of myself. Today, I've got a really fun topic for you. We're going to be talking about how to use tarot cards to communicate with spirits. Now, I know I've already showed you my Santa Muerte deck, and I've already told you that the little book inside it contains for each card messages from the ancestors or the advice of the dead, particularly not necessarily the ancestors, but I'm using the term ancestors to mean all of the dead, but I don't mean specifically advice from your own personal ancestors. When I say that, I apologize. The advice of the dead is what they're using in this book, and I've also said to you that you can use any tarot deck, and you can do spreads, and there's spreads all over the internet, all over the place. You can do it in the Google and look and see. I have several of my own that I use that incorporate the ancestors within our own ancestors, particularly within the reading. But today I'm talking to you about something completely different. I'm talking to you about using the tarot deck like somebody would use a spirit board, like somebody would use the Ouija board, to communicate, to open a channel, open a portal between yourself and the spirit world, the spirits that have crossed in from the spirit world when the veil is thin, to communicate and receive messages. Now, it doesn't have to happen just at this time of the year. People use these kind of things. Some people work with ancestors or spirits all year long. But I remember at this time of the year, the veil is very thin. So, I mean, I'm not a medium. I'm not a psychic. I might not be able to communicate with the spirit world normally. At least I don't know if I can or not. But right now, when the veil is thinning, all of us have a very unique opportunity to communicate with the spirit world, at least in a limited way. So I thought this would be a fun video for you tarot readers, particularly who already have tarot decks, but for other people who might have tarot decks but don't know how to read the deck yet, you're just learning, or you're not interested in reading, you're just interested in being a tarot deck collector. This is the perfect opportunity for you to use your cards, because in this method, we're not concerning ourselves with the meanings of the cards. What? Am I going to sit here and tell you we're not going to worry about what the cards mean? I'm absolutely going to tell you that, because think about it. The spirit world, the people that are in the spirit world, the spirits, not all of them are tarot readers. They don't know and you'll see what I mean when we start. They don't know what the cards mean. So how are they going to read? It would be like me having my clients, that ask me to read for them, that have never read tarot cards, saying, "Oh, okay, now would you read for me?" You give them the cards and have them to read for me. It'd be the same kind of thing. Well, they could maybe read, but would it mean much? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it would mean. Do you see my point? Okay, so um, I came across. Where did I come across this? Because I've never done this before. I'm being honest. I've never done this before. I've been doing a lot of research, trying to come up with topics and interesting facts and things to share with you during the 30 Days of Halloween series. Now, I'm a serious woman. I'm very knowledgeable in a lot of ways, and I have had a lot of experience. I'm a crone, and I know a lot of things. But to try to fill up 30 days of Halloween in a way that is meaningful is a little bit of a challenge, for 30 days. Especially the depth that I like to go into each of my videos. I do like to talk. So I've been doing research, and I came across a blog written by someone named, I don't know how to pronounce the name, Torin Kinane, who talks about exactly what I want to talk about today, who talks about how to take a tarot deck and use it to communicate with spirits. Excuse me. And I'd like to share that with you, what I learned. But remember what I said when we were talking about the spirits, the spirit boards, or we were talking about anything else. Anytime we're going to communicate with the spirits, what do we have to do? We have to take precautions. Be sure you have protections of some kind up in your home if you're going to do this in your home. Be sure you have like a witch's jar or something, or you have, maybe some black salt or some other kind of things, cascarilla powder or something in your area. Even salt will do. You know, putting salt across your doorsteps, around your windowsills, or that will help. Whatever, rosemary. There's a lot of things we've talked about on this channel over the years, and others have on their channels to show you ways to protect yourself. Just to protect yourself from spirits that might be out for mischief. Let's just say. Okay, not necessarily harm. No, we're talking demons. We might be. I don't know. But just people that want to mess with you. Spirits that want to mess with you. We don't need that. We've got enough problems. We've got enough problems going on right now. So make sure you protect. You can cleanse your area. Make yourself comfortable. Get yourself a nice safe. If you're going to use a table, make sure you smudge your table. Get rid of clutter that doesn't belong. You can bring in things that you think that the spirits might be interested in seeing. That's fine. If you want to do this in just if you have an ancestor altar already up, that'd be a good time to do it. Particularly if you're hoping to get maybe through to some of the spirits that are your ancestors, your own ancestors. But remember, not all the spirits are going to be as adept at coming through the veil as others. Maybe your grandfather just it doesn't know how, or he isn't interested. So you got to be prepared for these things. Not all the spirits are going to be available, at any time just because you have a whim to talk to them. Doesn't mean they're available. Okay, so I have a few little things. Because that Torin Kinane, I assume this is a he, I'm not sure. Torin, that he has spelled out for us. The fact that they're not all good at tarot means we're gonna leave the little book inside the deck. Okay, we're gonna pick it, and we're not gonna go by the meanings of cards, so we're gonna go. Most of them are going to respond to the images on the cards, to the pictures. This is not a time for you to use the pip deck. It only has pips for the minor arcana. This is the time to pull out a deck that has good illustration. It does not have to be this Santa Muerte deck. This might not even be the best. It's just one that I'd like to be using right now. But just a regular Rider-Waite is perfect. Any kind of Rider-Waite. This might not be the best time for you to use. Remember I said the other day, if you wanted to talk to your grandmother, maybe having tarot cards that have flowers on them are good for grandma. Your grandmother's not going to, if she doesn't read tarot, she's not going to be able to use those cards to communicate the way we're going to ask them to communicate using this exercise that we're going to do. Okay, so keep that in mind. You want good illustrated cards. You do want a regular tarot deck that contains both major and minor arcana. That's important. The minor arcana is particularly really important. Okay, so we have to keep that in mind. We have to keep in mind that some might respond better if you don't get good cards, or you don't get clear answers of the questions that we're going to ask. Be prepared for something for a backup. And a couple of things we talked about in the last video, or one of the last videos, we talked about using automatic writing. And this would be a good time to have a piece of paper and a pencil, a tablet and pen, whatever, near you, in case maybe they're not answering well in the cards. You can start a process of, like, maybe they show you a card, maybe, and you say, I don't understand this card. I don't understand what you're trying to say with the card. You could write that. You could write that in your tablets. Just start writing. I don't understand. I can't see what you're trying to show me. Are you trying to show me this? Or just start talking, and then just let your pen, let the spirit talk to you through the writing. That might help. Or you might try a pendulum. Can I clarify this? Are you, like, especially if you take the time, remember, take the time when you're using a pendulum, or yes or no, like, show me. We're going to say, I'm going to Show me a yes. Front to back is a yes. Okay. In my pendulum. Now show me a no. Show me a no. There you go. Left to right. That's a no for me. Once you have that clarified with the spirit, then you can ask questions. Do you mean by showing me this card, blah blah blah, and see what the spirit says, yes or no. So combination of tarot cards and pendulum is a very good combination to use for this kind of an exercise. Okay. Before you start, by the way, if you get anything at any time, realize just like with the Ouija, you find something that you don't like, you start to see, I'm suspicious, what's this, who am I talking to here? Finish it. Chase that person, chase that spirit away, say goodbye, and be done with it. Come back later and see if you can contact another spirit. Okay? So when you're beginning, you would want to invite somebody. We're going to talk about that, and then you're going to say, I would like, this is a good suggestion. He talks about, if you're paying attention to your surroundings, and this is at this time of the year when we're saying the veil is thinning, you might be starting to notice phenomena that are going on in your life, and you're going, all right, is somebody messing with me? What is this? Is somebody trying to talk to me? Because this thing X keeps happening. For instance, I've been going out in my garden lately, and I've been seeing, all of a sudden, I've been seeing butterflies everywhere. Butterflies. Like the most beautiful butterflies. And I'm like, is there a reason I'm seeing butterflies right now? Because a lot of is this butterfly hatching season? I don't know. It might be. But it just seemed odd to me that I'm seeing a number of butterflies and different kinds than I've ever seen before. I might say, Spirit, I would like to speak to the spirit responsible for bringing these butterflies to my yard. Or I might want to say, um, I've been waking up in the night for no reason, like 2-3 times a night out of a sound sleep, which is not my normal behavior. I don't seem to be hearing a noise. Nothing seems amiss. I don't think I'm dreaming. I'm not having nightmares. I didn't have to go to the bathroom. What? I'd like to speak to the spirit who's waking me from my sleep. Are you trying to send me a message? I'd like to speak to that person, please. Invite them in if there's something. If not, I'd like maybe to speak to my grandmother, or perhaps to the spirit who might give me information about my grandmother, or get a message to my grandmother. You could say something like that. Be polite. Ask for what you want. And then you're going to, then you're going to ask them if they're ready to speak. And this is another good time for the pendulum. You say, are you willing to speak to me for a few minutes? I'd like to have some news on my grandmother. Would you be willing to talk to me for a few minutes? And if they say yes, then you can proceed. Okay? They might say no. Maybe they just don't know anything about your grandmother. Or, you find out. You can clarify with the pendulum. Okay, so anyway, I want to move on. I don't want to make this too long. And this is not, please be assured, I'm not actually doing a communication reading right now. This is only to show you. I have not prepared my table. I'm not prepared. I'm not asking any spirits to come to talk to me right now. So this is just because I'm also experimenting with a couple of different camera angles, because the difficulty with this deck is the dark images. It's hard to show up. I do want to get a good shuffle, but I just want to But I'm saying this is not a real reading, so we don't have to worry about that. I know I've been doing some real readings for you lately, and this is not one. Okay, but I just want to show you how we do it. And so I just have my deck. I have my deck all prepared. And there are 6 cards in total in this reading. And the first card, actually the first 2, are speaking to the spirit, about the spirit and its relationship to you. And those are the first 2 cards. Okay. So we're going to be laying out 2 cards to represent those 2 things. And to do that, I'm going to oh, I know what I want to say. This is what I want to say. I know I forgot. I want to get those cards off of a shuffle. You know, normally when normally when I can tell I've never done this before. I'm rambling. I'm shuffling well because I want to get the first 2 cards, and I would do this. As I'm shuffling, I would be saying, I wish to speak to the spirit who is responsible for getting me up several times, waking me from a sound sleep several times at night. I'm asking the cards. I'm asking that spirit to please show me the card. And that is going to give me, the idea when to stop shuffling. Okay? That's going to tell me when to stop shuffling. And I'm only going to deal out the first 2 cards rather than all 6 if I was doing a regular reading, because I want the spirit to select the cards. And the spirit doesn't know what's going to come next. I'm only asking those first 2 questions. I want to speak to the spirit who's responsible for waking me several times each night recently. And see if I can find out who you are and what your relationship to me might be. And when I feel like I'm done, I'm going to turn those two cards up. Just those 2. My cards are shuffled, and I've asked the question. I said, who is the spirit that is responsible for waking me up each night from sound sleep? And what should I get? And what is your relationship to me? What is your relationship to me? Okay. I got the 7 of Cups and the 8 of Cups. Interesting. So this is somebody that's, if I got Cups, I would say, okay, this is somebody who is, somebody I have some kind of an emotion attached to, right? Now, because it's Cups. But remember, the spirit might not know, might not be familiar with the tarot deck. Okay, so and this is a card. This is a card. This is the 7 of Cups. The spirit doesn't know this, but he's going to respond. The spirit is most likely going to respond to something that is a picture that he might have seen. Okay. And this, we know this in tarot, what the 7 of Cups means. There's a lot of choices, and here's a man. I can show you a little closer in the cards with another camera. A man looking at all of his choices, examining all his choices. And here we have the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups is, she's giving some thought. She's somebody thinking. We know in the tarot what it means. It usually means it's time to go away, but we don't know that. The spirit doesn't know this, okay? So I want to say, I might want to ask the cards before I go on. I might want to use my pendulum. Let me get still. And I want to ask, and I might want to say, see now it's just, I want to wait until it's just steady. And then I want to say, I see that I've drawn 2 cards that are the Suit of Cups. Would this mean that this has something, have we been in some kind of relationship together, or there's some kind of an emotion tied between you and and me. I'm going to wait to see what the pendulum says. It's still going around. It's not going deliberately in any one direction. If I want to wait. Now it looks like it's beginning to go from front to back, but we're going to wait again. And there it goes. It's not swinging very hard though. It's unsure. Unsure. So this could indicate if it's unsure, or it could indicate that we were in a relationship that maybe not a romantic relationship, some kind of a close friendship perhaps. Maybe this is a loss of the friend. We're not sure. So I could ask the spirit, could I receive, maybe I'll look for 2 more cards and see if this it clarifies it. We have the King of Swords, and we have the 3 of Cups, okay? So here, the 3 of Cups, look at this. This is a celebration. What was our relationship? We see some kind of a celebration going on. There's 2 women and a man. It appears, and they're raising their cups and they're toasting each other. It's like it's a friendship. It looks like a friendship. Okay, and the King of Swords is maybe or it could be a family. This could be a family. The King of Swords could be, standing there holding up the sword like he's in charge. We don't know what the sword means. And here we can see the man with the sword, and here we can see very clearly now there's some kind of a celebration party. So if I were going to ask the spirit, what was our relationship? This looks like, from the first card shown to me, I might interpret just again based on what the card looks like. This is somebody, if it was somebody I was in a relationship with. Here we go. Here we see all those cups for the first 2. The first 2 cards. This card, a lot of cups, a lot of pretty cups with faces on them, but they're just up on a shelf, and he's examining them. He's looking at them. He's looking at them like he was maybe thinking, right? He's still thinking, but these as being my first 2 cards. If he's thinking, and this card is thinking, it might be a memory. This might represent some kind of a memory, I would say. So I shared some kind of a memory with this spirit, making me think that I probably knew this person. And when I asked for clarification, I see that it's a man. It must be a man, because this is what the spirit picked for me, this man. I'm trying to move these because there's a glare from my camera. If I can get the... there we go. I was looking on the wrong camera. There we go. Some kind of a man that I shared either a friendship with or a romance. This doesn't look like a romance. This looks like a friendship. So this spirit is somebody that I know, that we had a memory. We probably had some kind of a friendship. Sadness here, or missing, somebody who misses me. An old friend who's passed, perhaps. Or some kind of a man who has passed. Okay? Okay? So let's look at the second cards. Cards 3 and 4. Let's just turn those over out of the way, so we're not get confused. The card 3 is how the spirit makes themselves known to me. How does this is now remember, if I were going to get bad, I want to just say a couple of things about these last cards. Let's look at the last 2 that I had. These are happy cards. The first 2 that I picked, I didn't really get too much other than maybe this was a little bit of loneliness or sadness, okay? but not, this didn't seem particularly sad. These two don't seem sad at all. Some people can consider this card maybe a threat. Somebody holding a knife up a blade up in the air, but this would hardly seem to be a threat because, first of all, I don't know if you can see it, but there's flowers engraved all over the blade of the knife, and he's standing in the middle of flowers, and he's got some kind of a medal on his chest. He doesn't look ominous. He looks kind of nice coming out of the flowers. So that doesn't look very scary to me. I think there's scarier cards. If somebody was going to try to find a scary card in the deck, a scary looking card, if it was somebody who wished me ill, you can find some more scary cards than that, right? This card has lightning and it has swords, and somebody who was out to maybe harm me or trying to scare me might pick a scary card like that. But this card was not picked scary, so this card would be something like a man. And again, this is a celebration with a giant heart in the middle. There's nothing scary about that. Nothing scary at all about that. Okay. So, but in case there was, what would we do? The same thing we were going to do if we had the spirit board in front of us. We would get out of here. We would say, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you anymore right now. It's time for you to leave. Fold up your cards and say goodbye. Right? Say goodbye. Walk away. Come back another time. Okay? You're asking the spirit to talk to you, but you need to keep in mind, even though the spirit is taking control of your cards, perhaps, they are, you're still going to maintain control. You are still in control of the situation. And so you need to trust your feelings, and you need to trust your, your intuition. Okay. So now we're going to ask the spirit. I'm going to go back to shuffling my cards. And while I'm shuffling my cards, I'm going to ask 2 more questions of the spirit. Okay, saying that now I recognize who you are, that you are somebody I used to know, probably who's no longer living, and I was you were either a relative of some kind or you were a friend of some kind. Not a romantic involvement perhaps, but just somebody who was important to me. Okay? Now I'm going to ask them to I'm going to ask the spirit, how are you making yourself known to me? What should I be looking for to know that you are around? Because remember, this spirit is not going to come and sit down at my table. Right? The spirit's not going to come and sit at my table and show me their face. How am I going to know when that spirit at this period of time is around? For instance, am I going to see the butterflies in the yard? Are they going to be waking me up through the bed? What are they going to be doing? What kind of signs are they going to be giving me? That's my next card. And then I'm going to also ask how they will why have they chosen to make myself known to me? Why is it that they're here? Okay? Now keep in mind that if it's somebody who's a relative, it could just be that it's a time of the year we're getting together, we're going to be having family time or whatever. Or it could be perhaps there's somebody who needs help. Okay? So the next 2 cards are about those subjects, and we're going to ask the spirit. Remember, think about it as we shuffle the cards so we know when to stop. We're asking them how they make themselves known to us and why they have chosen to make themselves known. Okay, what do they want from us? So we're going to, I think I'll stop there, and I will get 2 cards. I have this camera in front of me, it's kind of hard. And I have the Magician, and I have the One of Cups. The One of Cups, the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, not the One of Cups. The Magician. So this, in the end, this is it. How are they going to be making themselves known to us? Well, what do we see here? We see a magician. Well, you see a magician sitting here using tools. He's got all his tools around him. He's got a wand. He's got, you know, all the tools a magician has. Here's a hand. I don't know if you can see the hand down here. Like fortune telling. With the eye, like through a palm reader with the eye in the center. All the tools. Here's a crystal ball. He's got all the candles here on his hat. So if the person was going, the spirit was going to be making himself known to me in this way, this would be in some manifesting in some way, right? I would say coming to me in some magic way or some unusual way. If I was a spirit looking at this card, I would think, you know, look for something out of the ordinary, looking for something special that you don't normally see. So something like, this would be more like the butterflies in the yard than it would be like being woken up in the middle of the night, right? That's what I would guess. That's what I would guess if I would see something like that. And here, why have they chosen to make themselves known to me? Why have they chosen to make themselves known? Do they think they need me? Do they think they're they're filling up my cup? The rain is filling up the cup when it is empty. They think they need me. Or maybe they're filling up the cup that is my brain, giving me ideas. We see the dragonfly sitting there. We see this is very dry and harsh around. Just a little bit of water in the background. They're in a very dry, rocky, dirty place. So this is much needed rain. So maybe the spirit thinks that I need them. I could interpret it that way. Maybe the spirit thinks I need them, and they're going to show me some magical things, some things that are unusual, so I know they're here and that I can count on them, that they're here to give me what it is I need. Here, this cup, what it is I need in this parched land. I need this much needed rain. And there's the dragonfly. They're there sitting on there. So this might be telling me I want to be looking for dragonflies. I want to be looking for dragonflies. And I do see dragonflies from time to time, quite often. I have a pool, and they're attracted to my pool all the time. As a matter of fact, a couple weeks ago, we saw some dragonflies coming to the pool. So maybe I need to watch for something like that. If this were some spirit actually talking to me. Okay? Now I have 2 more questions. I would pick up my deck one more time. And I would shuffle again because I want the spirits. I want the spirits to tell me what card I need. And I have 2 more questions. What does that spirit want from me? And what do we mean by that? Well, a spirit needs energy to manifest. And this is one of the reasons we give offerings. We leave offerings all the time. Why we put things out for our loved ones, perhaps. On the altar, we'll put out their favorite foods, or we'll put out their favorite, or maybe beverage, you know. Give some kind of an offering. It helps them. So maybe something like that. Maybe they need something they can get the energy from, so they can give us what they need. And then when we say, what can the spirit do for me? What can they do for me? I need to watch for cards that are not too grandiose. What can they do for me? What can they actually do for me? They're providing me with what I need. I saw in that cup before. So, let's say what the spirit wants from me, and what can they do for me? What can they do for me? Okay. What they want from me, and what can they do for me? What they want from me. Page of Wands. What they can do for me. The 9 of Swords. All right. So, this Page of Wands is kind of different. He's on the swing. He's hanging out. So what do they want from me? Maybe they just want to hang out. Or what does he have in his hand? And I realize that they don't know. Let me move that out of the glare. Oh, you don't get a glare. There you go. I'm looking again at the wrong camera. There we go. There we go. Oh, this is confusing. Yes, the spirit might not be able to read tarot, but the spirit can see. They've come in here. They come in here. They just thought they'd swing by. They might have a message for me. They're holding something in their hand. Looks like a rolled up message. So maybe they want me to, this is again what the spirit wants from me. Maybe they want me to tell them something. Maybe they're coming. Maybe they have a question for me. Maybe they have a message. Maybe they just came here to relay a message from somebody else. If this was a negative card, what do they want from me? If we find a really negative card, yeah. Very ominous card. We see something that's too ominous. It would be time to close out the cards. Time to close out the card. Right? Something scary. If they saw something scary, we don't want to stick around. This is not scary. This is happy. He's just swinging by, just came by, sitting on a swing, maybe just spend some time. Maybe he's lonely. Maybe he just, again, misses me. Maybe that relates back to the, the idea of being lonely and missing me. And what can they do for me? What can they do for me? It looks like they have some information for me. They're presenting me with a book here. And there's this wheel around the head. But I could say to the spirit, I don't understand this card. I could even ask, I could either, oops, the camera's on my pendulum. I could either ask, could you, I could ask yes or no questions. Do you have knowledge that you want me to have? I could ask yes or no. Does this card mean you have knowledge you want to give me or whatever? Or I could say, would you be willing, could you pick another card? I could ask if they could pick another card. And in that case, I would shuffle the cards until I felt that there was a better card. I could have picked that one. That's the one that flipped out. And that one flipped out. I think it's because I'm shuffling up in the air. But I'm going to put them down just in case. What can they do for me? Ah, there's a butterfly. There's a butterfly. They think I'm better off, perhaps, just by having them around. They might think, oh, look, he's bringing me tools. He's bringing me... And that's kind of funny. There's the butterfly again. This is kind of funny because this is my friend. I had a friend who... Now, remember, I'm not doing my reading. I'm not doing a reading for me. But I always say when I'm doing these little examples of tarot readings, I would say this is for pretend, and then it shows that it turns out to be a really good reading for me. So that's why I've resorted lately to doing real readings for myself, because it's hard for me to not. And even though I did not put up any protection other than the protection I already have in place, and the idea that this is my reading table, so it's already well cleansed and well prepared for any kind of a reading, right? So I even have my bird here guarding my table. This could be very well a real reading to me, because all of these signs are shooting me towards a friend of mine who passed last summer, who I didn't know passed away until last summer, not this summer, last summer. I saw it on Facebook. He was one of my best friends. I saw it on Facebook. And it's horrible. I still can't get over his death. I really cannot. He was someone far away from, lived back where I came from, back in my hometown, and devastating that he passed. It was very sudden, and I thought I was sure going to see him again, and I did not. And I should be seeing him at this time of the year because we were going to have a 50th reunion for my school class this year. We didn't have, of course. He's very much on my mind. He's a musician. Here he is with a guitar. As the case that he's bringing the guitar, there's the butterfly. All of these things, he's traveling. All of these things are kind of pointing me in his direction. They just, for some reason, I had this feeling, I had this memory of us sitting at his table last time we were in town, doing exactly this, outside on his porch, sharing a glass. This really sounds like it could be him. Okay, so I don't mean to be that way. I don't know why I've said that. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make in this is this is your this is the portal of, this is your tool of communication. This is the tool that we're trusting, is your tarot deck. Use it and ask the questions. These are sample questions, and I will, just before I'm finished, I will lay these cards out and remind you what the cards are in this spread so you can do it for yourself. But notice how I let the spirit guide me. Tell me when to stop shuffling for each set of questions. The spirit is picking the cards, and the cards, try to keep in mind that you're using the illustrations on the cards rather than the meanings for the cards, because assume that your whoever you're talking to doesn't read tarot. And that's why we say, if you see something like the devil, now we know the devil doesn't represent the devil, don't we, as tarot readers? The spirit might not know that. And so if you get somebody who says, "Who are you?" and he shows you the devil, well, shit. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you to get the hell out of there. You know, that person's out to mess with you. Or, you know, that's to mess with you at the very least. He might be out to harm you if he could. That's when you close that reading out. You close it out and say, "Sorry, I can't talk to you right now." You close out your reading and you say, what do you say at the end? Always, goodbye. Say goodbye. Pick up your cards. I just want to review the last, at the end, what the positions were. So what did I have here? I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, did I? Something like that. But I just have them in this position so that I can get them on my camera. They don't have to be like that. They could be, you know, in 3 rows or 2 rows or in a circle, or however you want to lay them out is fine. But just so you know what the positions are. The first card, number 1, the spirit's present. Who is the spirit that is present? What spirit is present? Remember, it's going to probably look like him, or what they look like, or what they think they look like, or so pay attention to gender, pay attention to, you know, what they're doing, you know, if they're, you know, if you get a card like, try to give you some other examples in this deck, who it could be. You know, if you get like this kind of a card, like the Page of Pentacles, it's a very big woman. This is like a little dollhouse neighborhood, you know, but she's in charge of helping people with the bank or helping people at home or gifts, or it's all about somebody, a very big female present in your home or family or workplace or something. That would be what that would look like. Here is a woman who is very lovely woman who's carrying things. She's excited to take some things from you. Here are some, here's the sun, and here's some men playing guitar, sitting in a beautiful garden, so this could represent something like that. Here's another man. This is definitely a man. Who are you? I'm a man. Um, who are you? I'm a woman. I'm a woman, right? Do you see that? Who are you? I'm a man and I'm deceased. You know very much I'm dead. I mean, they're all deceased because they're, everybody's deceased in this river, but he's coming out of his coffin. He might be coming in across the veil for the first time, or he might be somebody who really has written reflection and hope in the lid of his coffin here. So he might mean, oh, I have this important message from where I came from. So he might be somebody who's coming to you to bring a message, maybe from another person in the spirit world. Okay, the pictures are going to answer your thing. And then what is the relationship to you? Here we see this is somebody who you celebrate with. You've shared wine with, you shared stuff. You might see somebody sitting. What's your relationship to me? This could be somebody sitting at a desk. Could have been a teacher. He's writing something. Um, what is your relationship to me? There's somebody in an authority figure that was in your past. Could be a father figure. It could be a grandfather. It could be maybe an old boss or somebody like that. What is your relationship to me? Right? You see that? That's how we answer the questions. So those are the first two. Position 3, how the spirit makes himself known to you. This is coming through like magic, coming things. There's going to be a sign here. We see they're both he's looking up at the key. She's looking into the lock. There's going to be some kind of a mystery solved, maybe, or some kind of an answer solved. How they make themselves known to you that way. So look up and look for the signs. Look for signs. Again, you see something like that. How will you make myself known to me? Look for a butterfly. You could try. First thing, you could try looking for a butterfly. Okay. 3, 4 is why the Spirit has chosen. Why are they here? Why are they here? Why in the world are they here? Okay. What card would give you what card? Here, there's nails being cut in and put into the coffin. Why are you here? Maybe they died too soon before they got to tell you something. Why are you here? I'm coming to bring you some kind of news or some kind of message or some kind of something, again, of somebody else. Why are you here? I'm holding a box. I'm going to tell you about something, some kind of treasure, some kind of maybe a gift that you have coming to you. Why are you here? I might be telling you to watch where you're walking. Be careful. I might be giving you a warning. Okay. Number 5. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? What in the world do you want from me? Well, this one, we thought he had a message or he just wanted to come and hang. Just wanted to come. Maybe I'm drawn to you. I'm attracted to you for some reason. Okay. I want to tell you have a job to do. You need to do something. You've got a ladder. He's going to go up a tree. Maybe there's something I want you to do. Or something I want you to get for me. Show me. Okay? Why are you here? Again. She's in it. She's selling flowers. She's selling things. Maybe there's something particular that they want, they need. Okay? And finally, what they can do for me. What can you do for me? What can you do? What can you do for me? Um, I've got a candle and I'm calling out. So I might be wanting to, maybe I want to take a message. I can take a message. If you have a message for your friend, or I have a message, if you want to take a message to your father, your grandfather, I can take it for you. Um, what can I do for you? Here's somebody sitting with a Ouija. I can answer questions that you have asked, what you need to know. I'm going to be your portal. I'm going to be your method of communicating with anybody you wish to communicate in the, you know, in the other world at this time. I can be here present for you, a way of communicating. Okay? I can provide you with what you need. I can help I can help you, bring growth into your time. Bring your goals, see your goals come to manifestation. Manifest your goals. I can advise you. I can help you. I'm there for you. You can count on me. I'll do for you what I can do. Specific answers to your specific questions. Okay. Whatever we do at the end, we say thank you very much. It was so wonderful to talk to you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming. Thank you for caring enough to come. I send you with my blessing, and we say goodbye. That was fun for me. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got something out of it. I hope it wasn't too confusing. I thought it was really fun. It was a whole new way to experience the tarot. Trying really hard. I was trying really hard not to read meaning into the cards. That's really important that you do that. And this might be hard for you to do if you're using a deck that you use a lot. It wasn't so hard for me because I only use the Santa Marta deck at this time of the year. It would have been really difficult for me to use the Rider Waite and not think of the meanings in the cards, but the illustrations are really straightforward and really simple, and a lot of them are really straightforward. They're hard to interpret any other way other than what the picture says. Sometimes you have to know the meanings. So just keep it in mind, but just keep that in mind for this season when you're maybe communicating with the spirit world. It's not for everybody. Don't do it if you're not comfortable. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm not advising you to do it, really. But I know there's interest. I know some people have interest. And especially this year, not much else to do. Since we can't go out and do some of the things we normally do at this time, a lot of people are looking to see what they can do to entertain themselves. Just use caution. Use caution. Okay. And that's it. That's it. I don't want to say any more. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. I wish you blessings.